Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I'm LaMiskey, and I am responding to a written letter. And if you want to have your letter read and responded to on a video just like this, go ahead and email me at the email address in the description box below. All right, let's get started on this letter. So it says, Dear LaMiskey, would you consider it cheating if someone is texting their ex-fiance messages about still loving them? I feel like I'm losing my mind right now. My boyfriend drinks sometimes, and when he does, he ends up sending emotional messages to his ex. He swears it doesn't mean anything and tries to make me feel like I'm overreacting, but it doesn't sit right with me at all. The other night, things escalated. I got overwhelmed and slammed the door, and now he's using that moment to say I'm aggressive and he wants to end the relationship. That's not who I am, and it hurts to be labeled like that. What makes this even harder is that outside of those drinking episodes, things between us feel genuinely good. We're kind to each other, we get along, and it feels like there's love there. There's real love there. But when alcohol gets involved, everything shifts. He says it's not a constant problem, but it happens enough that I can't ignore it. And now I'm stuck in this confusing place because he just spent a huge amount of money helping me fix my teeth, which makes me feel even more conflicted about everything. My heart is honestly broken. It's only been a couple of months, and I thought we were building something solid. Now I don't know what to believe or what to do next. Okay. So, do I consider it cheating if someone is texting their ex-fiance? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. That's cheating. That's not supposed to happen. Like, if you care that much about that ex, why are you here with me, you know? Um, and it seems like you're being gaslit because he's minimizing it. You say that he ends up messaging his ex. He swears it doesn't mean anything. It absolutely means something, because if it meant nothing, then there would be no text messages exchanged. So yes, that is definitely a form of cheating, if not leading to a bigger form of cheating if that ex were to respond. So yes, I absolutely do. And I think that you do too. Now, the other thing that makes this complicated is you say that he spent a huge amount of money helping you fix your teeth. And so teeth are expensive, okay? So I'm assuming that it's at least 10 grand, if not more than that. But teeth are expensive. And for someone to have such a grand gesture toward you, but then turn around and mistreat you, that makes things so complicated. It makes, I mean, it's cut and dry because he's disrespectful, right? But at the same time, they just invested this amount of money in you and you feel kind of indebted to them. And I think that's a natural feeling as a human, as an equitable human. You feel a little bit indebted to people when they do big gestures like that. So you have a high earning person who has money to spend on someone else in that way, right? But then that high earning person has a drinking problem. So clearly they don't know how to process their emotions. And when they do drink, their emotions turn into behaviors that are disrespectful to the relationship, disrespectful to you, and honestly disrespectful to themselves. Because if that person is your ex, stop texting them. Like, y'all are exes for a reason. Like, I firmly believe that you are exes for a reason. And there's not always a reason to open up or reopen things with people, because if you've already gone down that road and you saw that it doesn't work, then why go back and forth? Like, what are we doing, you know? Um but I will say this is complicated because as a human, we want to be equitable, and this person just invested this amount of money. Now, here's the thing. Just because it's a lot of money to you doesn't mean it's a lot of money to the person that's spending it. So that's another layer of the complexity. But here's the cut and dry of it. Is it cheating? Yes, it's cheating. Is it disrespectful? Yes, it's disrespectful. And as far as the disrespect with the slamming the door, I think that he's escalating that. I'm assuming it's a he. Yeah, because you said my boyfriend. So He's escalating that because I think people that have these tendencies, they would prefer that you don't show them how disappointed you are in their behavior because they're able to have grand gestures and they can probably get someone else or whatever it may be. Or they just don't like any pushback. I think a lot of people who are controlling and gaslighting, they just don't like pushback. They don't like to be disrespected, even though they are the most flamboyant in their disrespect to you. So, I mean, you kind of got to pick your poison there. Like, I don't know if that's something that you want to deal with long term. So, it seems like you have a high earner with a drinking problem who's emotionally immature. Like, what can you really do with that? That is going to be a hard thing to overcome. And I don't go into relationships wanting to change people. Like, I go into relationships wanting people to be exactly who they are. But if exactly who you are is harmful to me, then I'm not going to be able to stay. Like, I'm just not. I'm just not going to put up with it because life is already hard. Thanks for the teeth though, like thanks for the teeth. But life is already hard, but I'm not here to be your punching bag in exchange for grand gestures or you dropping a bag on me just because you can. So I think what needs to happen is at minimum, take a break. I would take a break. I would try to go to dinner or go somewhere public and try to have like a sane, calm conversation when that person's not drinking and just let them know like this is a problem. Like this is not going to work for me. This is not something that I can see myself doing over and over because I can't, like for me, I remember there were times when I was in tumultuous relationships and I recognized very quickly, I can't take these ups and downs. Like it distracts me from my purpose. It distracts me. It gives me, and this was back when I couldn't manage my emotions quite that well. So it turned into bad habits for me. And in order to try to process what was going on, and kind of like a self punishment, I think, too, because I was feeling all these feelings that it seemed like the other person wasn't feeling. So then it's like you feel like you're in a relationship completely by yourself. And that is no way to be. Like you can like literally just be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now your teeth might not get fixed, but you can just be by yourself. So is he cheating? Yes, he's definitely cheating. He's definitely being disrespectful. He definitely has problems that are deeper than maybe you can even help. So I think this is a point where you have to give it a good Girl Scout try. And if you can't get treated better by communicating, now there's a part to communicating with someone like this where you have to set a boundary. You have to understand that they will let you sit there and keep communicating and communicating if you're still putting up with the behavior. So you can't try to talk someone to death because if they're not showing changes within the first few weeks of talking about it or seeking help or maybe just going off and doing something on their own when they're drinking, you know what I'm saying, which could be dangerous. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there has to be a level of reciprocity. If you're having these talks, that's emotional labor. And we're not here to just emotionally labor for people just because they have habits and addictions that we don't have. So I'm really sorry that you're going through this. And I hope that you can find a time and place to have the conversation to make it clear that this is not acceptable. This is unacceptable. I will not be able to stay. And your money and your gifts and stuff is just not going to be enough for my personality. I think that for some people, grand gestures, dropping a bag on them kind of replaces that. But everybody's not built that way. And I think people want to feel loved and respected in conversations and in relationships more than we were programmed to think that we were when we were younger. So I honestly wish you the best with this. I hope that you can address the gaslighting. I hope that you can address the lack of reciprocity when it comes to the conversation, because getting gaslit is just, for me, it's one of the most infuriating things. So Yeah, I mean, you can't overnight expect that person to become emotionally intelligent. You can't overnight expect that person to not drink anymore and just cold turkey quit and just be a better person, because who knows, if they're forced to be sober, they might be worse, if they don't have that outlet, that release from the alcohol. And I'm not advocating for alcohol. I'm just saying that people use it in different ways. Who knows, if he gets upset and doesn't have alcohol, like what he's capable of doing. So I would just say pay close attention, find his patterns. I think you already know his patterns now, and choose what your self-respect is going to look like. Because this is a situation, on one side, I know it probably feels really good to have someone take care of you financially, to be able to improve your physical appearance and be able to spend money without it being a big deal. But that's not everything. Your self-respect and having your peace is going to be the most important thing that you dedicate your life to creating for yourself, because with or without that person, you're going to be with you. So if you make decisions in relationships that disconnect you from who you are, then you're going to go from relationship to relationship looking for something that's already inside of you. So that's all I have for this letter. I'm wishing you the best. And yeah, I hope that you can get through this and be safe. All right, that's all I got. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.